If you focus on the hook is anywhere between 0 to 3 seconds. You're not only just selling what you can do for a service, you're selling who you are. The difference between you and Alex Hormozi or Dan Martell is they have more reps than you.
Yeah.
You know, why aren't you successful? Have you gotten enough reps? What matters to you? What are your belief systems? How do you feel about health? How do you feel about wealth? How do you feel about, you know, your business? Like
a lot of creators do video, but they like not rich content creators. How to become rich content creator?
$14.99, you can get this swipe, right? Right?
Niche, yeah.
We can talk about business in multiple different soft other categories. They're called subtopics.
What's up? Today we want to talk with a very interesting guest. Her name is Arriana Acuna. It's correct one?
Correct.
And I wanna ask ChatGPT what ChatGPT know about Arriana. Arriana Acuna, known as a Queen of Business Operations, is a business strategist and founder of Operation Media LLC. She is specialized in building a robust brand and operational system, assisting businesses in scaling effectively. Arriana offers services such as expert operator placement for seven-figure and larger businesses and conduct comprehensive business audit to identify and reactivate foundational issues. Arriana, is it right information, or you can tell some word more about your experience and about you?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like ChatGPT was very accurate, actually, on who I am and what I do. So, like it mentioned, my name is Arriana Acuna. They like to call me the Queen of Business Operations because, number one, my life purpose, you know, when you turn 30, you really start identifying why you're here on earth. And so I've really zoned in my unique geniuses, and they fall into two categories. One, on the operations side, I have a knack for operations. That's just how my brain works. I think in operational terms all the time, and I really love people, processes, and profits, right? And so being able to understand those three key fundamentals very easily, I'm able to understand how businesses operate and function to help them make more money and help free business owners. So on the operations side, I place operators into seven-figure plus companies like yourself, and I really help free visionary business owners so they have more time to spend working on their business versus working in their business. And so since I've been an operator for so many years working in the business, I understand what it takes to double, triple, quadruple revenue and how to build a sustainable business from the ground up.
Okay, Arriana, it's nice experience.
Yeah.
And maybe you can tell me some words about with whom you work in your previous life. Maybe it's I know it's a very famous people, Grant Cardone, and yeah. And what you do for Grant Cardone?
Yeah, so specifically what I've done in my previous roles and responsibilities are I was the director of operations for one of the first TikTok agencies called Viral Edits. I was working very closely with the CEO at the time, and we grew some pretty big brands. So we really worked on brands like Grant Cardone, Brandon Carter. We worked on Chris Crone. We worked with Natalia Mello, like a lot of really great, amazing people in the space, specifically business owners, and we really elevated their brand. So I got really great experience learning how to film and direct those creators to where now in 2025 and the last year in 2024, I'm able to help business owners speak in short form and really take their message and put it on social media after building some of those big brands with that previous agency. So now I have my own operations media, and it's really important to me that I help everyday business owners learn how to speak short form. They know how to film and direct, and they have someone who believes in them and is able to understand their high-level thinking and then translate that into the social media space by building their brands. Because as a high-level thinker like yourself, we're always speaking in the highest terms possible. How do we break that down, and how do we speak on short form to be able to make it relatable to the masses, right? And so being able to work with some of those the biggest brands on the internet has allowed me to understand and learn how I can help everyday people.
Okay, and could you please give me a real secret how to do shorts with have a lot of viewers? What's the secret of this? Maybe you know?
Yeah.
Because I do YouTube 1 year, and only on this month I do first video have 100,000 viewers, first video, but I doing YouTube 1 year. It's, how to do shorts which can view maybe
get a million views.
Million viewers, or maybe Yeah.
So the secret sauce is actually a formula. So the formula is, number one, if you focus on the hook is anywhere between 0 to 3 seconds. That needs to
0 to
be
3 seconds.
a visual hook, right? Visual, auditory, but your first 0 to 3 seconds, you need to create a hook that is very engaging and that grabs the most attention. So you need to have a strong hook at the beginning. The second part of the formula is, are we going to share details, which you can break down concepts, and or do you have a story? So we can go either one of those two routes.
First 3 seconds, it's a hook, a story.
Details and or a
and
story, and then solution at the end.
Okay.
The biggest mistake that creators make is they don't provide a solution, right? So if I grabbed your attention, I created a great hook, and then I provided details and I cut it, there's no value in that. It's like, what do I do with this information? You have to give the viewers a solution, which is going to make you valuable and your content valuable, because they're going to want to subscribe, save, and share your content. You have to give them actionable steps. So at the end of the video, we started, or at the beginning, it's hook, details, and or story, and then always provide a solution at the end. What should they do? What advice do you have for them? And can they like, follow, and share your content? You have to give people a reason, because right now, everyone's speaking on the internet, but what value are you creating, and what can you do to give people actionable steps on how they can apply that to their life? So there needs to be a solution at the end, and that most people don't do that.
Okay, and maybe it's a very a complicated question. What's ROI of content? For example, a lot of creators do video, but they like not rich content creators. How to become rich content creator? Maybe you know some secrets.
I do. So the difference between content creators who just speak freely on social media and then the content creators that actually monetize content is, no one wants to be hard sold to, right? So I'm not going to go on social media and say, for $14.99 you can get this swipe, right?
Yeah.
But if I hit on the pain points and I'm very raw and authentic on how I help people, and I give the viewers a call to action, like if you are a busy business owner and you're stuck in the day-to-day of your business and you're unable to grow, I can help you do that by X, Y, and Z. You need an operator, so we can place an expert operator in your business so you can quadruple your income, and you can also have the freedom to spend with your family, because that's what you got into business for in the first place, right? So being able to hit the pain points and speak directly to your viewers, they might be experiencing that pain, and they're going to say, wow, this person's very raw, authentic, and they get it, and they know how to help me. How can I work with you? So it's soft selling by being very real and authentic and meeting people where they're at and be able to solve problems while creating content. It's the difference between randomly speaking about just the pain points but with no solution.
And you can help with this, yeah? Okay, and how much does it cost to hire operation team like your or maybe other team? How much does it cost for content creator? Because you can help to become content creator, rich content creator. Is it possible to, for example, do like if I give you shares of company, or you do it only for money, for example, or for example, I want to hire you, but I tell you I want to do result. Is it possible if you give profit, which we do with your team later, or I need to pay you for operation, or how it works?
Yeah, so I feel like based on the business and based on the desired result, you always make sure that there's a win-win with both parties, right?
Yeah.
So if there's a company who, for example, on the operations side, they want an operator to be placed in their company, and they want to invest in the 90-day operations infrastructure that I've built, which means that it's 90 days filled with people, processes, and profits, and it's a system that I install into companies who have broken operations, right? That comes with an operator who's going to execute that. And so if you want that specific service, it's $15K up front. It's a 15% revenue share for the next 6 months, and you have the option to be on a retainer after the 6 months to be able to keep that operator into your business if it's a good fit for you, right? And if after a year and you love it and you want to buy out the operator, you absolutely can. Or if you're like, hey, you're absolutely crushing it for my company, and you want to offer me like a shared equity deal, we can absolutely do an equity deal. Or you're like, hey, I want you to be an investor in the company. Are you open to doing that? And so I think it's really important that if there are business owners who do want to invest in operations media, we absolutely do partner equity deals like that as well. So it all depends on what are the shared goals between both business owners and how can you and I win and achieve our goals at the same time. And so if there's a business owner who does want to work with us, I'd like to at least give it 90 days to make sure it's a good fit before we start buying equity in each other's companies. I think that's a really smart move, right?
Yeah.
To make sure that we are super aligned and then, hey, let's date and then let's get married. Absolutely,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because I think it's all about building trust. And if I'm working with a really great business owner who loves my product and service and we align on our core values and we can do a lot of great things together, that's when we should absolutely be talking about equity. Now, on the media side, I have packages for, because we do full scope media, we have packages between 4 and 8K per month based on how many videos we're going to be executing for the said client. We do all of the content creation topics specific to the client, like for yourself. We don't cookie cut. And we don't duplicate other content creators' efforts. For example, if I were to manage your brand and your content, you're your own unique individual, which means all of your life experience and all of your knowledge and expertise. I'm not going to say, hey, let's go find a creator that's very similar to yourself online and let's remake all of their videos.
Yeah.
No. I'm going to sit you down. We're going to do a viral breakdown and I'm going to scrape your geniuses and figure out what matters to you? What are your belief systems? How do you feel about health? How do you feel about wealth? How do you feel about, your business? Like, what are some of the key things that make you you? Those are the topics that you should be talking about because that's your brand.
Yeah.
Right? We're going to hit on your unique geniuses and you're going to be able to feel more authentic on camera rather than scripting you out. So that's step one.
And step one, how much does it cost? It's breakdown. You said it's like.
Yeah, so for one post a day, that's going to be around 4K a month.
Okay.
If we just want, for the 4K per month package, that's for a brand new creator who doesn't have an established brand on social media. We need to start them off and get them consistent with one post per day, every day on the big four: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, TikTok, right?
Okay.
And so we need to make sure to post them once a day. But the 4K per month, you're pretty serious about your brand, right? And you're able to be on a monthly retainer. That involves topic creation. We're going to film, we're going to direct you, we're going to edit your videos, and we're going to post them online. That way you're not having to manage your own media. That's a full scope media service. For 6 to 8K per month, that's when we focus on 2 posts per day. We get you on podcasts, we get you in speaking engagements, and then that's a hyper-focused program specifically for more established business owners who are ready for exponential growth. Anywhere between over 100,000 followers who are ready to go to 1 million.
Once I talk with a very famous blogger who have 3 million followers, and when I talk with him, for example, I'm the very successful businessman. Why I need to do a YouTube channel? Maybe I not need to do this. And he tell me, oh, Ilya, better way for you to give interview on different big podcasts, and if you give interview to some else, is for your strategy is better. What do you think about successful businessman who no name, never doing business content before? Is it good strategy for him to do YouTube, or it's better way to give some interviews for very famous podcast? For example, if I go to Lex Friedman and tell him interview, is it better for me, or I need to do a lot of YouTube video and it's a very, very like a long period I need to do video?
Before I joined the media industry, I was very much working in corporate world. And no one cared about social media if you work in corporate, right?
Yeah.
So
B2B,
it's like,
I never think about it.
Yeah, it's not important. That's not a real job. Like, why do I need to post on social media? It's not a real brand.
Yeah.
That's for, people who aren't serious about making money. That's a very bad belief system because in actuality, that's okay if you want to make a lot of money and go MIA. However, it's 2025 and the realities of today are being on social media, having a brand is actually an asset, to where maybe 5 years ago, it wasn't very much an asset because back then we can look someone up on Google, we can exchange an old school business card, to where now when you meet someone, what's the first thing they ask you? Hey, what's your Instagram? What's your LinkedIn? If
Yeah.
you don't have one, and you're not established on social media, you're lacking that asset. So why should I know, like, and trust you?
Yeah.
Compared to someone who does have an established brand. So, I mean, it was even a rude awakening for me because I'm like, look how much money I've made companies. Over the last 3 years, I've made companies over $19 million. I can help you do X, Y, and Z. Who are you?
Yeah.
I'm going to search
It's
you.
a red flag. If
You're
you
not,
don't have Instagram, wow, it's a
Yeah.
non-verification.
And I was like, that doesn't matter. And so getting into the media world and being able to have that experience, doing the operations for media companies, I quickly realized that it's so important for business owners, especially people who do have a lot of assets and who do love to invest. Your best investment is yourself, in your brand, in your voice. And at the end of the day, once you make a lot of money and you're established and you actually don't have platforms, at the end of the day, people who have been successful and who've made a lot of money, they also want to get into philanthropy, right? They want to give back.
Yeah.
But there's a limited number of ways in the past that you were able to give back. You can give to charities, but now the best piece of advice is you can give someone your time and you can give someone your wisdom. So if you have the younger generation, which are hooked on social media, and you want to give them knowledge and expertise back on how they can make a successful life and share your experiences with the world, now we have platforms that you can reach billions of people rather than just going to a conference and meeting with 100 people. You can reach billions of people now and share your life advice, share the things that have worked for you in your life, share your failures so people can find inspiration, and you've already created a path. Why can't they follow that same path and be successful as well? So I think it's so important that people are not afraid to speak their voice and share value with the world, because everyone does carry value. It's whether you want to share it or not.
And Ariana, what do you think about field business entertainment where we talk about business? For example, it's like Dan Martel, Alex Harmozy. It's a very competitive field, or it's very easy? For example, for me, if I want to become #1 business blogger, is it possible to defeat these guys, or it's unreal for me? What do you think about it?
The difference between you and Alex Hermosi or Dan Martel is they have more reps than you.
Yeah, more reps. Yeah,
they have more reps.
Yeah, very long history we have. Yeah,
right. So yeah, the difference between you and them are they just have more reps than you. So if you continuously, and you know this, right, as a successful business owner, the more reps and time and attention you spend on something, the more success you're going to have. So the only difference between you and them are how many times have they posted on social media?
Oh,
probably over 2,000 times. They probably posted between 2,000 and 5,000 times.
Yeah.
And then take a look at your profile, analyze how many posts do you have. They have more outputs. And that, I feel like that's just a general rule of thumb in business in general is, why aren't you successful? Have you gotten enough reps?
Yeah.
The more reps you put in, the more successful you're going to be. So if you want to be the Dan Martels or the Alex Hermosis of the world, we need to get more reps, which you're doing right now. Same thing for me. There's no difference between me and them. Okay. They have more reps, and they're more willing to put themselves out there and share their knowledge and expertise with the world.
Okay, it's thank you so much for your answer. And what do you think about how many posts need to do for success? For example, for me, I have right now only 3,000 on YouTube channel, 3,000 followers. How many shorts I need to do? How many long YouTube video I need to do per month, for example?
I would say I can only speak on short form because I'm an expert in short form.
Okay, only
long form. I'm not an expert in long form, but I will say on short form, you should be posting a minimum of 2 times per day.
Shorts 2 times per day.
Minimum.
Okay.
Minimum.
It's a 60 shorts per month.
Okay. Minimum. To actually experience growth, right? And so before it was like, if you're ever working with a marketing agency and they're like, oh, you only need to post, 3 times per week, you're not going to see growth. You need to be able to post minimum twice per day to actually see growth. Okay. And you can mix it up, right? So you don't have to post talking heads twice per day. You can post a loop video and then a talking head. right? You can do a text on screen style and then a talking head. That way your feed's not just talk, 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 talk. And if that is what you want to share with the world, you can absolutely do that. But at minimum, if you want to grow and you want to take your brand seriously, you need to be posting twice per day, every single day without failure. That means Saturdays and Sundays. Doesn't mean those are off days. The algorithm is a living, breathing thing. And the more you feed it, the more you're able to grow.
Okay.
So twice per day on
Twice
all
per day.
platforms.
Okay.
Be committed to it. And if you can't commit yourself to it, hire operations media. We have social media managers that will post every single day without failure, so you don't have to think about it because you probably have bigger fish to fry than posting on your social media. But if you do have more time than money, you should absolutely be posting on your social media twice per day.
Okay, thank you so much. And my podcast called Think Big, and we talk about money, and it's a very interesting question. For example, how these large bloggers like Grant Cardone, Gary Vee, Alex Hormozy, Dan Martell, how much money they can do from content? Is it information? You know this information. I think it's very interesting for all viewers.
So once you hit, I would say anywhere between, how do I put this? Once you start establishing yourself on social media and you gain a mass amount of following, like the Grant Cardones, like the Alex Hormozys, like the Dan Martells, like Joe Rogan, they're getting paid per views. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
they're not getting paid per, you can get paid per post, but the reason why they get paid so much money on social media is because all of the platforms compete against each other to see how many people can stay on their app longer.
Okay.
So if you have a very interesting podcast and you're able to pull mass amounts of views, people are going to be hooked and they're going to want to watch your podcast on those platforms. So platforms reward creators for how many views they get and how many people they can attract on those platforms and stay watching your podcast longer.
Okay. And do you know about integration with different brands? Is it real in business field to do integration? For example, Alex Hormozy can do like Pepsi is a good drink, for example. Is it possible to make a contract with big
like brand sponsorship deals?
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's where content creators are making stupid amounts of money, and that wasn't really a big thing a couple years ago, right? Like nowadays, you get sponsored by Celsius, and if you make one post, so to answer your question, content creators who actually do sponsorship deals, I've seen creator deals that we've actually helped negotiate to where if you get paid for just a static post, I was helping a creator create a contract that said, hey, if I create a static post, you have to pay me $250 just for a random post. And if you want a reel, that's $1,000.
Nice.
So you can start charging per post or per static post or per reel on your platforms. And if brands want to work with you, you need to know how many views that you bring on average between, every creator knows, hey, I can pull anywhere between 1,000 and 5,000 views or 100,000 views and 500,000 views. And if you're a big creator and you pull, 1 million views pretty frequently, that's 1 million people who are going to see, Alex Hormozy drinking a Celsius. Mm-hmm. That's 1 million people seeing Celsius. Yeah. So what's the ROI on that? How many people are going to be buying Celsius per that one video?
Yeah.
So content creators can absolutely negotiate brand deals with companies because if they're pulling the views, that's advertisement for that company. That's how that works. You sign a contract, you negotiate on price per static post and or reel and or story. And based on how big the creator is, you can make a lot of money just advertising a product. So very cool.
Yeah. And what do you think about TikTok? Is it real they ban TikTok in US or or TikTok can survive?
So they banned TikTok for a day. Right?
Yeah, I see this day.
It was a day. And I remember I was out of the country at the time. I was in the Philippines and I was like, are they really banning it? I logged in and it said, and editors, you can put this text on screen. As of today, we are banning TikTok temporarily and we are negotiating some deals and hopefully Trump can bring it back.
Yeah.
The next day, it was back.
Yeah.
Thanks to Donald Trump, TikTok is now back in action. Feel free, it's back. So it was only banned for a day, but what I saw on TikTok is a lot of creators actually made a very comfortable lifestyle,
Yeah.
posting content, growing a following, getting views, doing brand deals to where, you know, in the United States, it's called the creator economy, right? People have made a living posting content on social media.
Yeah.
And, you know, we do have a job shortage thanks to AI, right? And a lot of jobs are going to be replaced by AI in 2025. And those jobs have been either replaced by AI or people have found other ways to make money, which is posting content and doing brand deals online. And if you take that away from the United States, I'm very curious to know if they do decide to move forward with the ban, even though it was back and they actually decide to get rid of it. I'm curious on what those creators are going to do. Most creators are probably going to go to YouTube or Instagram and find ways to monetize on other platforms. So I think it'll be very interesting to see how those other platforms are going to shift and grow and help the creator economy shift to other platforms. But right now, the best thing you can do is not put all your eggs in one basket. Keep posting on TikTok while it's there, but diversify your platforms, right?
Yeah.
If we talk about business and wealth, if you have all your money in real estate and you hear that the real estate market's going to crash, you probably want to pull out some money and diversify your assets
Yeah.
and move your money to things that are a little bit more sustainable until you figure out which market's going to crash and burn or succeed, right? You want to diversify your money, which means you want to diversify your platforms.
Yeah.
Because you can't rely on something wholeheartedly if it can be gone.
Yeah. Okay. And Ariana, I have a question about maybe you have some field which you love more in content. Maybe it's like, maybe it's a business field or it's maybe a sport, entertainment. Do you have some field which you love, or it's all good?
I love helping people build their personal brand. So the reason why that came to be is back in my early 20s, I used to be a healing coach. So I used to help people heal a lot of past traumas by focusing on a holistic approach, right? You are more than just what you do for your career, right? You're more than just your job. We can talk about different realms in your life: health, wealth, family, core values, spirituality, what you do for work, what you do for hobbies, because all of those things encompass who you are, right? You're not just one of those things. And so being able to identify people holistically and see all the moving parts that play a role in their life and view people as whole people holistically, and being able to help people dissect all the important things in their life and, really fine-tune those buckets, you can really get to know someone because they're more than just one thing. And so being able to help people grow their personal brand and share their experiences, share their core values, share their story, share their beliefs, and even sprinkle in what they do for a living and how they help people, you can get to know someone holistically, just like I'm getting to know you and you're getting to know me on a deeper level. And so I think personal brands are really important in 2025 because it's behind the scenes. So when you go into business with someone or you're trying to sell a service or, you're focusing on your professional life, people hire people who they know, like, and trust, and it's more than just what you do for a living, right?
Yeah.
So it's your personal brand.
Yeah.
And now in 2025, you're not only just selling what you can do for a service, you're selling who you are.
Yeah.
Right.
Who you are. Okay. And I think it's a last question, Ariana. What do you think the best way to become 1 million blogger in 2025 in business field?
If you want to grow 1 million followers or 1 million subscribers on any platform in 2025, as a viral director, obviously that's one of my goals, but I know what it takes to get there because I've done it for other people. The strategy is to post the most raw and authentic content as you possibly can and be connected to your audience, which I mean, what I mean by that is when you're speaking on camera, just be raw and authentic because the internet can sniff out.
Real. You need to be real. Yeah?
Yeah.
And
you
tell
need to be
from
real.
your heart.
Yeah. We need to speak authentically, right? Because if you're scripting and you're trying to play a role and you're trying to put on a facade and you're trying to be someone else that you want other people to perceive you as, rather than just showing up as your most authentic self, you're going to be more magnetic and you're going to attract the right people. And people, after COVID, people want connection. Am I right?
Yeah.
People want to connect like this.
Yeah.
And so the more you can connect with people and show up as your authentic self, those are the people that are going to want to follow you. So number one, show up authentically on camera and then speak your truths. Number two, post consistently. Every single day, 2 posts minimum on all platforms, because even if you show up raw and authentically on camera when you do, if you're not showing up and posting those content, how are a million people going to follow you and find you? You have to be consistent.
Yeah.
And lastly, give them a call to action. Tell them your purpose and get specific on why they should follow you, right? So if you want to attract a million people, what value can you share to those millions of people? Are you teaching them about health, wealth, finance, fitness, mindset and psychology? Are you teaching them investments? Like, what is it about you that is your unique genius that you can share with the world? And then double down on that, show up raw and authentic, and be consistent with your posts. If you do that for 1 year consistently, you'll have a pretty big brand.
Okay.
Sometimes if you're a busy business owner, right, and you have goals and aspirations to grow a big brand, and it's like, I'm going to try to be my authentic self, and you feel like you're holding back, that's the importance of having a director at your film shoots, because we're going to extract that from you. I'm going to say, hey, can you tell me a time when you experienced X, Y, and Z? Or how did you help this person grow their company? Or tell me the biggest failure you've ever had in your life and how did you overcome that? It's my job to pull that out of you, and it's your job to respond authentically. Where most creators go wrong at the beginning is they're trying to decide, the cameras are on me. Oh my God, I gotta freeze. I have to say everything perfectly. I have to look awesome. My outfit has to be cool. Am I saying that correctly? It's like, no, you have to show up as your most authentic self. And if you can't do that naturally, you need to hire a director who can pull that out of you.
Yeah.
So for you, if you're having a hard time doing that, I would love to direct you and ask you the questions to pull out that genius out of you so you can share your story with the world. So I think that's super important to have a director, especially when you're starting to create a brand and film content at a very high level.
Yeah, and for example, my goal on this year, I want to get investments from Tier A funds, for example, from Sequoia and SoftBank, etc. And I want to do content which is good for very, very narrow niche of investors and funds. Mm-hmm. Is it real to do very narrow content?
Oh yeah.
Or is it possible to do? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
For example, because I want to talk about my business. I do business in 18 countries, and I want to tell that I have opportunity for funds that they can do money with me, and we can create billion company, for example.
Yeah.
And I want to talk. Maybe not often, but sometimes I want to talk about this, about my result in business.
Yeah,
and I want to for example, Sequoia investment director call me. Hello, Ilya. I want to send you $20 million because it's good what you say in this video. Is it can work like this or not? What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. So you asked me, can you niche down?
Yeah.
On specific topics, especially with what you do. And I'm saying absolutely yes. Because a really cool thing is when you niche down, let's just say we're only going to create content around business, which is it's a niche, right?
Niche, yeah.
We can talk about business in multiple different soft other categories. They're called subtopics. For example, if your main category is business and we want to talk about how important is business and relationships. See how they tie together? You can create more subtopics.
Yeah.
Let's talk about business and investments. Let's talk business strategy. Let's talk business negotiations. Let's talk business finance. Let's talk business content for businesses. Let's talk about how you help businesses. Like, there's different subcategories, and we'll never run out of things to talk about, even if you niche down. So you can absolutely niche down, which will make you stand out and be a subject matter expert at that specific niche. So you don't have to talk about the same things repetitively. Each niche has sub-niches and subtopics that I can help you come up with, absolutely, to where people will see that value and they'll say, wow, he is a subject matter expert at helping people achieve X, Y, and Z, but he's making it super relatable because, for example, business, There is health in business, right? Business owners, we can't be fat and lazy, right?
Yeah.
Because then we won't have energy.
Yeah.
So there's a health and business and health, business and relationships, business and finance, business and strategy, business and consulting. Like there's so many subtopics. To answer your question, yes, you can absolutely niche down, which will separate you and place you as a subject matter expert while being authentic and educational and informational and relatable.
Nice.
So yeah, absolutely.
Arriana Acuna is a very, very real professional operation in media, and thank you for your time, Ariana.
Yeah, thank
Nice
you
to
so
meet
much.
you.
Thank you. It was great.
This is podcast Think Big. See you on next video. Bye
Yeah.
bye.
Bye.